I don't think... Is your mic on? We'll do it live. Now we're recording though, yeah?
Yeah, we're good.
Special Sesh, episode 3. Man.
3. Yeah.
The podcast where we're civically minded stoners for civically minded stoners. Talk about some important stuff going on in the world, but also just chill, relax. We're actually at the Black Market Dispensary. They have a lounge opening on the 18th. So
yes.
I think Saturday, if this comes out on Sunday, it'll be that Saturday. So less than a week from when this comes out. Matt, what did you call it? They're calling it the Black Room?
The Black Room.
Okay.
At Black Market Dispensary and Lounge. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place.
I just looked at that. There's a sign.
Oh, there we
go.
go.
Pretty dope sign.
But I was like, yeah,
you should just do this. You should just do this for me. We've got Gabe Gambino.
Hello.
From manhigh, and you're gonna have to remind me the
violetrising.
Violet.
Yeah.
Violetrising.
I learned the origin of the name is that our singer's name is Christy, and she's super talented. There's a term called shrinking violet, which is like the shy girl character.
Okay.
This is like her breaking out of it, you know.
Makes sense. That's cool.
You also forgot to tell us in the secret sesh that forgot to tell Matt that you're also a barber, so folks can.
I'm a barber.
Perhaps my new barber. Yeah. We'll have to audition those beard trimming skills.
Hey, man, I've been auditioning my whole life, you know, trying to get shows and trying to get all these things. But
hell yeah.
Yeah, no, it was at gambino.the.barber on Instagram. There's a book now button with my availability and all that stuff, but you can always DM as well. I will check it every couple business days, and I'm really terrible. I've decidedly gotten bad at social media on purpose, but
yeah, I hear you. I hate it.
Yeah, if we didn't need it for work, I wouldn't be on it anymore.
Well, Facebook has my number, dude. They're like,
yeah,
hey, you know what really pissed him off? And then it'll just be some guy, and it's just like, you know, Donald Trump is the greatest human being that ever lived, and I'm like, this fucking moron, you know.
Yeah.
Hop in and just scream at them.
You know what saves me almost every time is using like any sort of scheduling app or any sort of apparatus to schedule stuff, because I'm like trying to promote stuff, and I'm like, I just want to post all 3 things right now. I don't want to think about this in 3 hours.
That's what I've been doing.
Hours.
I just do the combined, like, hey, thanks for the birthday wishes. Yeah. I have a show.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like, here's some pictures of me and my family and me, you know. And then like and then after that, I'm like, other than that, I'll post stuff, I'll share stuff, but I'll be like, I won't read the comments. I'll post it, and then I'll see like that was 300 people like arguing amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's enough arguing in real life.
And they're like, did you see what I said to him? Like of somebody that if I cut their hair or whatever, and I'm like, I sure didn't, man.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
I'm too busy fucking trying to get better guitar and stuff.
Yeah. Doing something more productive.
Breathing the air. It's crazy.
Yeah. So we had Gabe on for the secret sesh, and so for folks that don't know, that's our Patreon page. It's really cheap. And actually Gabe was our second subscriber, so shout out to Gabe the barber for that.
Yeah.
I've never had Patreon before either.
Me neither, to be honest. So it's free right now for another maybe dozen plus folks. Other than that, it's $3 a month, and the intention is we wanted a separate little space where folks could join us sort of virtually. We'll release it every Sunday at 4:20. So for free or even $3 a month, you can join Matt and I and our guest, whoever it may be, have a little Sunday afternoon sesh to get rid of those Sunday scaries, you know?
Yeah, if you get them.
Yeah.
I got Mondays off, so as a barber, you know,
I don't have any days off, so there's no scaries for me.
Well, I always do something, but
or every day is scary.
Every day is scary. It can be, especially trying to make money in cannabis.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that used to be a hot industry, you know. It's like when I was a teenager, and now
it's yeah. You don't want to get me started.
I think. Well, I mean I don't even know if it's the bubble that burst, right? I mean, it just sort of it did exactly what everybody said was going to happen, right? Is that like
it's the Starbucks effect or something?
Yeah,
you know?
it happens in every market too. You have prices that are incredibly high at the start because there's more demand than there is supply, and then basic economics kicks in, and now you're in a situation where you have an oversupply and not as much demand. So naturally,
The
prices are going to drop.
barber industry is the same way too.
Yeah.
is it? Oh yeah, I guess because I mean it's not. Not this is going to sound so bad, but it's not super hard to go. I mean, you got to go to school and pay money and all that stuff. But like that the barrier to entry is not
Right.
crazy.
It's not as. I think it's harder to stick with it than it is to start in it.
Sure,
I
yeah.
think.
Oh,
But
it's
also,
same for cannabis, I think, right? Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like if I went into cannabis, like I don't know shit about shit, you know.
Yeah.
They're just like, what kind of weed is it? What strain is that? And I'm like, it's weed, man. You know.
It's what I smoke.
Same at when I was teaching at a barber college, and they're like talking about their YouTube channel they're going to start. And so I'm like, just cut the fucking hair, man.
Yeah.
Just get good at that first.
Yeah. Do something good before you try to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one guy I taught, you know, he graduated from school. I was teaching, and he started doing one of those, like, you know, try to be a motivational barber video guy.
Oh yeah.
But he's like, you can never quit. And I'm like, you did not get your license, dude. Like, stop fucking giving advice out. Take the goddamn test and get your license.
Be real, people.
Do the thing. Do the thing first. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
exactly.
a weird fake influencer, you know, thing going on, like with, you know, people are just like, come with me to, wow, we're gonna go get tacos or whatever. And it's like, dude, who talks like that, you know?
Oh, it's so gross. And they do this stupid shit with their hands where they're trying to show stuff off. And
I actually only talk and act like that when I'm not on camera. Oddly enough.
It's really annoying.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. We're just here to talk to you.
An intervention.
yeah, that's right. Yes, Andy, we have something to talk to you about.
You gotta run, not walk.
You got to stop your vocal fry.
Yeah. I was getting weed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
That's the
It's funny
worst.
too. Is that, you know, I grew up in California, and so I was like, always had the, like, people thought I was a stoner before I ever touched weed.
I always had that problem too.
Yeah, my parents were like, oh, we just like assumed you always did that.
I just want a Pepsi.
Yeah. But it's like, no, I'm just like sound dumb.
Yeah.
You know, I have dumb
It's
voice.
just my face, okay?
Yeah, and dumb face too. I'm
Just
like,
who I am.
So go ahead.
oh no, I was like, I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Good, because I know what I was going to say. Matt, there's I don't even know where to begin. So one of the things I like to do with Matt is that and it's also sort of we get to brag that like we disagree on quite a few things, but like not in a rabid sort of way, and also
Right.
in a way that we can be grown-ups.
Like
and
the
just-
old way
Yeah,
of disagreeing.
That's exactly how it keeps coming up, is like just and it's not that long ago too. It makes us seem so old. I'm like, we're talking 20 years ago that like
Yeah.
you could have conversations.
Civil
I mean,
discourse.
all right.
kind
To
of.
be fair, 20 years ago we would be saying the same thing, like, "Oh my God, it's so." But I think
Yeah, in the '90s was this
Yeah,
golden age of you know.
so. Where do we want to start? I think ranked choice voting. Let's go that way because that was the. So I was going through the news stuff and see what we could talk about today, and I saw this. I'm like, oh, this is something that I guarantee we disagree on. Are you familiar with ranked choice voting or what it is?
Like the tiers, where they tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sort of like, oddly enough, that's how the Libertarian Party picks their nominees every year. So it's
I
not
know, it's
really ranked
silly.
So
choice
is it like
voting.
weighted points?
No,
for-
it just sort of keeps going. So in the Libertarian Party, it's a little more drawn out. It's the same process. They say, okay, basically everybody gets to run for president and in their primary.
Right. Okay.
And then they go, okay, everyone all the delegates in this convention vote. They drop the bottom person off. Is that right? And then do it again. They keep doing it one by one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to make it goes even longer for them because they also every time have a none of the above option.
Yep.
And so you can have round and round and round until finally you get to
They're
the
like,
place
this
where
none of
you're
the
like,
above guy is killing me. Like,
In the
winning by a
Libertarian
landslide.
Party, that does not surprise me.
I used to actually was a card carrying member, you know, when I was 18 or 19 or something.
I think they quite often have the none of the above option until there's like they keep it, but it's always the winner until there's like 4 or 5 people left. you know?
There's a guy with 6 votes. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm still in this thing. I'm still in this.
So anyway, the Albuquerque City Council voted down ranked choice voting last night. This was April 6th. They did this. And the reason I knew Matt was going to have something to say about it is because my father-in-law, who also thought he called himself a libertarian, his big thing was one person, one vote, right? And I guess I just don't. It ultimately is one vote, though, right?
Not really, because you're voting for your first choice candidate, your second choice candidate, your third choice candidate. So that's 3 votes. One vote is one little bubble gets filled in for one little office.
So I've heard of that situation but it's like your first pick gets like 3 points or something, or like, and your second gets 2, and your third gets 1.
I don't know if they do a weighted option because they have it in Las Cruces and Santa Fe. Right?
Yeah, I don't believe it's weighted, or the proposal here wasn't weighted. It's basically you just vote for your choices, and then the top vote getter is the top vote getter, and you look at who's number 2, number 3. Their votes would then go to the other candidates based on how people ranked their choices.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of rolls all the totals
breaks
together.
down into one vote where they're like, okay. Well,
yeah, so it breaks down into one vote.
This guy was on your list, so we're going to...
I will say if there's an argument against it, and I don't think I'm not even saying it's the right argument against it. I'm just saying if there is a valid argument against it, it's the one that you just made, that it's complicating things. And not complicating things and confusing, because that's what the folks that were against it at the meeting apparently were saying that people just won't understand how it works.
I think people will eventually understand.
That's why
how
I just
it
like
works.
that. Like if you're going to use an argument, don't use that one, because
it's one person, one vote, but it's also complicating things in the fact that a lot of times ranked choice voting, and I looked at situations across the country and in Europe where this actually originated, because I was like, it's a very un-American idea for an election, so I wanted to see where it originated, and it's a European idea.
Of course.
And sometimes they take days to get to the election results. We already have enough problems with that here in the United States. I'm of the belief that there is a shit ton of election fraud that occurs. I've seen it firsthand myself working the polls. So we should be doing more to secure our elections and getting results out faster so people actually trust the process again, rather than putting some scheme like this in place. We have very little trust in the system anyway, and I think when proposals like this move forward that to a lot of people look like some kind of witchcraft, it creates more confusion in their minds as to what's actually happening. Not because the system is complicated to understand. It's more the idea of why is this happening, instead of this is a good old plurality of votes that wins.
Yeah, I think I hear what you're saying. Another thing that pushes me over towards we should do it is specifically in Albuquerque, where I live. Gabe lives. Well, no, I guess you live in Albuquerque. That we have this new election process thanks to the state law that passed, where now our elections are on everything else, which is fine. All that's great. But for a mayoral,
19 people to choose from.
Yeah, for a mayoral race, we still don't have a primary because it's a nonpartisan race, and so this is the tough part, is that I actually like that it's quote unquote a nonpartisan. I mean, we all know who people are when they run.
They're like, I think homeless people should die. I'm like, found the Republican.
But we don't have any sort of primary. We don't have any other thing in Albuquerque so we're guaranteed to have, and then combine that with, this is, I call the RJ Berry rule, because former mayor RJ Berry won with like 40, his first time around, I think it was like 40% or something like that.
Yeah, and that's happened across other administrations too.
But it was a very left-leaning council at the time, and they were like, oh, we can't do this again, so we got to change it. We have to get 51% or more than 50%. And so now we put all those things together, and now what we have is a guaranteed runoff election 3 weeks after the first election and like 4 weeks before the person takes office.
Which is a giant waste of money. I think Albuquerque spent like $1.8 million on this last mayoral runoff. We find out a couple weeks ago that now there's a $35 million budget hole in the city. So it's stupid. I've got a very easy solution. Go back to a plurality of votes. It doesn't matter if you get 50% or if there's 12 candidates in, majority takes it.
And they did try that. I forget how the voting broke down. I forget who introduced it, but I know that came up again maybe in the past year or two.
Yeah.
Where the city council was like, maybe we should just go back to this plurality thing.
It's easy.
Look, I think there's an argument for that too, because that goes back to the old campaigning days where you're like, if the three of us are running and I'm falling behind, Matt can come to me and say like, hey man, we got to beat Gabe. So like, join my group.
Either that or Albuquerque and other cities need to figure out a different system for weeding the candidates out to the top 2 or 3 choices. Maybe you have some kind of nonpartisan primary.
Or like a
something like that.
Like the pre-election.
It's
gets
silly,
down to
though.
4 people or something, and
yeah, exactly. Having 8 or 9 or 10 or 12 candidates for a single office is nuts.
I'm pretty sure I was on the ballot and I don't know
You
it.
probably were.
No, those are the Epstein files, Gabe.
Oh shit! I was a kid, man.
I know, that's the funny thing of being of a certain age where you're like, if I'm accused of being on the island, I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, dude, I was 5. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've chatted with people in Cruces that like the ranked choice voting. It seems to have worked in Alaska. Alaska seems to be doing okay with it. I don't know. There's something about it that feels like it's like you could really manipulate it by recruiting a slate of candidates and all of them having an agreement as to potentially who the winner is or how they're going to divvy up their votes, and that feels very wrong to me. And I think the system could be manipulated that way.
Sounds like the room for some collusion and some
very much so. Yeah.
Venezuela in no time, right?
Yeah, we're probably pretty close to that anyway. So.
Yeah,
that's why we call him Matt. Build your own roads, kind of.
That's right, baby.
Or get Pizza Hut to do it.
Yeah, pepperoni freeway,
Yeah, you remember they had that campaign. There's an ad campaign. You could call Domino's and they would fix potholes in your street.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
man, that's old now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was real stoned.
Talk about nostalgia. Jeez.
Yes.
Now I can't stop thinking about all the pizza roads that they would make, the stuffed crust frontage road, or the
like the works fucking way or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Gabe, before we go on to other stuff, I wanted to. This was going through my head earlier. As a musician, do you have thoughts on when people say like about other musicians or other artists, like just shut up and play? Don't have an opinion.
They don't listen to music then.
Yeah.
You can't really hear music. They're like, when I meet conservative dudes that are like, Rage Against the Machine is my jam, dude. I'm like, they're talking about you.
That was who was that?
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan, yeah, that was getting pumped.
He says
they're kind of raging with the machine these days, though. $300 tickets.
There was that one that was like right before COVID hit, right, where they were planning that they had to cancel because of COVID, I think. The tickets were so expensive.
Yeah.
They did such a brilliant job of like cashing in, but also being like, those guys are rich, dude. Like, fuck those guys.
Big
but
time.
I'm like, there's a difference though between like, if you made $100 million like insider trading because you got to pick the defense contract.
Yeah,
and invest in them before you got to vote on who gets the defense contract.
Yep.
That's a huge difference. Also, if you're a music act, like, maybe you put it all into your show and you're like, holy shit, that was a fucking amazing show.
Well, dude, and apparently they're worth seeing live, and they're like their music's kept generations going, and and I think that is one thing as a musician that is frustrating nowadays is that people, you're like, it's a $5 cover to see just 4 bands or something playing, and they're like, could you get me on the list? And I'm like, I know you're gonna drink fucking $95 worth of alcohol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like when you tell people there's a $5 cover or something, and they're like,
can you get me on the list?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we have to go get our shit and haul it to a venue hours before the show and hang out.
Yeah, buy me dinner and I'll get you in for free.
Yeah.
Well, I love living by you buy things from your friend's business and you try and get stuff from free from people you don't know. That's the way to live.
Yeah, but it's a corporation.
Fuck that.
I did a stint at Great Clips.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, fucking
free haircuts for everyone.
Dude, I didn't know so many. Like, I gave military discounts to everybody. It was just like,
allegedly. Or what's the statute of limitations on that?
I don't know.
Come at us, Great Clips.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's
not so great.
The guy that owned it. So actually, yeah, they lowered my hours because I was doing that was taking my time on the hair. And they were like, yeah, you're not really getting that 2.2 haircuts in that within an hour.
Did they tell you need more flair?
Dude, it was almost like that. But like the day before they cut my hours, they were like, this guy cried. He's like, he was from Pakistan. And I cut his hair and he's like, nobody's like treated me as well since I've gotten here.
Wow.
Yeah. And he cried. And then they were like, you're fucking slow, dude. We're cut.
Yeah, well,
thanks.
We're giving you 4 hours a week now.
He also got a false advertisement on how great clips normally is, right?
Right. So I was like, yeah, it came from a barbershop, and I was like, fuck that, dude. No. The haircut's over when it's right. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, I'll take fucking twice as long as it needs to.
Yeah, but
it takes as long as it needs to.
You also have a conversation,
Oh, yeah.
How to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
I almost forgot too. We in the secret sesh, we were talking about this and sort of left it as a teaser for the other folks. But another thing on your resume is what'd you say? Former paratrooper?
Yeah, I was an Army paratrooper. I served with 5th Special Forces Group out in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Yeah, I was a support guy, so I was like lead with that. I was not a Green Beret. Yeah, I was just on a team of them.
That's still pretty high speed, though.
It was cool. Yeah, it was. It was definitely a different kind of upbringing in the military where you're first naming everybody. You're like, what's up, Andy? How's it going? Yeah. And it's like, Andy's a fucking major or something, and I'm a, private first class or whatever.
Did you have, I guess, what were your feelings when you saw the two guys that were rescued, right, from Iran? They weren't paratroopers, they were pilots, right? I think pilots and a weapons
So they
guy.
must have ejected, and that's like, man, I can't. So it's like, obviously I jumped out of the airplanes. I'm like, not a flying sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm like, whenever I see stories like that, I can't fathom like how terrifying that would be to be fucking, shot out of the sky.
And I mean, paratroopers are going out with like stuff that they need when they land, right?
Right.
Pilots are like, I can get what I fit into the plane.
Exactly.
It's like a survival.
Yeah.
I hope you have a Cliff Bar in your cargo pocket.
They do carry M4s that are collapsible, but I mean they only have so much ammo that they can strap to them. So
one is like, that's if you don't get knocked out by the ejection process. So there's like little things like that, like when you're doing an airborne operation, like in the Army, the way you exit the plane matters. Like checking all your points and making sure. And that's how I got hurt because I looked down. And you're not supposed to do that.
Oh wow.
So as a pro tip, if you're riding a roller coaster, if you look at the horizon, you won't get the sick feeling. So the same thing when you're falling out of the sky.
Don't look down.
Yeah. You just look at the horizon, and the ground should surprise you a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of tumble into the fall, like you never land standing up. And what happened was I looked down, and I was way closer to the ground than I thought, and I stiffened my legs up and just.
Oh, it was just that natural your
could not even
your reflex was to tense up, right? Yeah.
And so it was one of those it's always when you're been doing it a little while, then you're a little confident, and you're like, oh, fuck, it's just another day at the office,
Jeez.
And really, you're doesn't hit you. You're like, hey, you're fucking jumping out of an airplane. So after you have enough jumps, it's like that.
Yeah, I guess you kind of forget that other people don't do that for a job.
Right. Yeah, and it's like crazy to think about because people are like, that's a fucking crazy experience to have. And I'm like, I guess so. Well, but it's like when you're around Green Berets too, and you're the radio guy.
Better for worse, I mean, that's what our military is really good at, is making sure that folks, I mean, that's how boot camp is, right? We're going to tear you down, build you back up, and create this fraternal, feeling of like we got each other's back, and then you sort of are in that bubble, right? You kind
of just go through life and you're like, I guess it was so it's crazy. I don't even feel like the same person that I was then. I mean, obviously, you change and stuff. And honestly, I thought I would get more. It's vastly conservative, in the military and stuff, and it kind of made me. I went to Thailand and I went to Iraq, and it's like meeting people around the world. You're like, we kind of all want the same shit, don't we?
pretty much. Yeah.
We want to see some titties sometimes. We want to go to work, and feed our kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's about it. And no matter where I've been or what language I speak, like, it's kind of the same thing. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, it's easy to, when you're, I was 19 when I got deployed, and I was like, it's easy to get talked into, like, those are your enemies,
Yeah.
But they really, they want you dead.
Yep.
They don't give a fuck about me, Yeah, nobody does.
It's not the people.
Right.
It's kind of what our fabulous Secretary of War is telling the whole entire country right now. Right?
Oh, my God. He's such a fucking moron, dude.
I've got so many mixed feelings on all of everybody in the administration right now. My God,
dude, it's like a fraternity. It's like that. Like they went to the pickup artists like on VH1 who were like, "You're the Secretary of Education now. You're the fucking Secretary of Defense. We're gonna call it war though now, okay?"
It's sort of taken this flavor of Reaganism, but then like not having the finesse with anything.
Yeah, but
right?
at least Reagan was optimistic most of the time.
Well, that's what I mean.
Talking about the shining city on the hill,
to finesse it, to sell it to the people. And
I miss being lied to, like classy.
Yeah, seriously.
They're like, hey, this is a war because God needs us to do this.
At least
you're like,
positive about it. Yeah.
But then not him. He's like, we're going to bring the oil companies in.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, this war is brought to you by fucking Trump coin or something. I'm like, It's weird having an influencer internet president like that's like.
He's almost doing like psychological warfare on them too, because he's like, is it going to happen today? I don't know.
Would you see his Easter Day statement?
Yeah. That was like, it's going to be bridge.
The Easter bunny in the back was like, what the fuck, dude?
Seriously.
That was my favorite juxtaposition where this poor guy in a hot Easter bunny hat or like head is standing there.
Well, and we're well past the deadline now. It's 8 Eastern, well past that. So who knows what's going on?
It's like, our bridge is going to blow up. I don't know. They might tomorrow.
He's like, hey, we're going to commit war crimes on Tuesday night. If you don't fucking
be ready.
Yeah.
Wait, what does it actually mean when someone says they're going to wipe out an entire civilization? That's what I want to know.
And then he says,
That's
I don't care about war crimes. But you know what is a war crime is, and he started naming some other stuff.
Yeah.
He's like,
it's wild.
Everything.
It's weird.
He started naming everything but actual war crimes.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, "What's a war crime? It's a white after Labor Day," and I'm like, it's weird. It's like I came to this determination. It's like, obviously I have a lot of friends from the military. They used to be friends. Like they don't talk to me anymore because I'm a tree hugger or something. I don't know. All the slurs or whatever.
Yeah,
I get them too.
Snowflake.
Yeah. But it's funny too because you're just like they come out the woodwork and you're like, hey, just like it's evidence. I'm like, they'll believe like everybody, like the Epstein files. They're like, oh yeah, I told you Bill Gates, dude. And it's like, well, what about your boy, dude?
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, hoax.
So I'm like, I don't have a favorite politician or a favorite celebrity. Like,
right.
I don't.
Oh, dude, there's no like, and we're in the age now where we record everything.
Yeah, literally.
And so like, there's no, the people that skated by in the 80s, 90s or whatever, are either getting called out or they're just genuine, like Keanu Reeves or something.
But even back then, they still did busts of congressmen. I remember when they had the big FBI sting on I can't remember exactly.
Was this in Colorado?
Yeah, one of them was in Colorado where they were
accepting
like hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. So
they had a state senator who got caught in like a hotel with like a 16-year-old boy.
There was that one.
And meth. He had like meth.
It was actually just at the Colorado airport where it was the other guy who was foot tapping or whatever.
That was Colorado too?
He wasn't from Colorado, but
I think that one was in Minneapolis because I was traveling a lot at the time. I was like, oh, I've been in that bathroom.
Yeah.
Mayor Marion Barry.
Yeah.
From DC.
He got elected twice.
And he was on the city council when I lived back in DC too.
Jerry Springer was the mayor of Baltimore and paid a prostitute with a check.
Mm-hmm. That at least
isn't that what got him in trouble? Did the check bounce or something? Wasn't there something with the?
It was probably like a kited check or something like that. Yeah.
I could be making that up, but I remember the check is what got him busted. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
it's wild.
Like, do what you want, but man, don't screw with the money.
It's got your address on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you and your bank account number?
Come on, Jerry.
What are you doing?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and you wrote in the memo too, Jerry. Oh,
it's
too much. So actually, when you said tree hugging, it reminded me of I have a list of shit here to talk about.
Oh yeah.
And one of them is the Chaco drilling boundary. That was one thing I was curious about you. I'm legitimately have no idea where you would fall on this because I don't know if you're familiar with what we're talking about, the Chaco Canyon. I guess it's a national park, right?
Yeah.
This goes back to Project 2025, I think, right? I think they listed that was one of the things.
Hey, that wasn't happening.
Yeah, well, let me tell you,
happening word for word right now.
Currently, Bureau of Land Management had a 7-day public comment period, which I don't know about federal, but state that seems like a short period of time.
That seems short for federal too. I think they try to do it under some emergency provision or something like that.
They're trying to, Deb Haaland basically put a ban on drilling. I think it's like 5 mile buffer from Chaco Canyon, and Trump removed it, or they want to remove it. They're trying to remove it.
There's a permanent 5 mile in place, and she expanded it to 10 miles, and the proposal is to take the 10 mile off. I don't know. Let's leave it on for now. We've got record production in the Permian Basin in southern New Mexico and into Texas. Trump has already reopened the offshore rigs in California. They're getting ready to go full steam ahead again in the Gulf. Granted, we need more oil production right now, but really, how much are you going to get out of that area?
We are obviously one of the top, if not the top manufacturers in the country, right?
I think we're number 3 as far as volume goes right now, but either way, it's huge.
But we've never used our own oil for that shit anyway, right? I mean, it's I don't understand how the oil market works, but I know it moves around a lot, and
it's ridiculous. And up in that corner of the state, you're looking more like natural gas and other gas production. Not only that, but I really feel like there are some things culturally that we should really preserve. Chaco is such a unique and sprawling place. Like, we should protect that as much as we possibly can. Bottom line, there's some human things that need some humanity left in them.
Yeah.
And that's one of them, I think. So
Gabe was just telling me that he wanted to get rid of the original 5 too.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
No, that no boundary.
Just
just straight down.
Yeah, my dude, right onto the canyon.
Right, just open up on
Paint
the
it like
canyon
a straw
floor.
for McDonald's, dude.
Some people would do that.
Let's make some McMoney, baby.
Well, we've got one of the largest oil and natural gas reserves up in Alaska in Anwar. I don't know if you guys have been up that way at all.
I've never been to Alaska. It's a dream of mine, though.
That's where my family's all from, actually.
Gorgeous. I love it up there. But Anwar,
I'm a grizzly bear fanatic, dude.
Shout out Skagway, Alaska.
Salmon. We've got a town and a glacier named after our family up there. Long family story, but
I wonder if our families knew each other. Well, probably not. It's such a big state, but yeah, my great grandfather emigrated from Sweden in like 1901 or something, and ended up in Skagway, Alaska. That's where my grandmother was born.
Okay.
I have an aunt that was born there. My mom lived there for a while.
Yeah. Kennecott, Alaska. It's a glacier. It's an old mining town. It was named after a family member of ours who was working for the Smithsonian after Alaska was purchased, and he was sent up there to do an exploration. So there's a whole basically region named after the family up there.
Is it $2 an acre or something like that?
Oh, it's something ridiculous. Yeah.
My family they were all Teamsters, because Skagway is like it's a port, and there's a train track there that like you and then obviously a road, but like my great-grandmother, grandfather, everybody worked on the railroad. Either they cooked for them or they,
You'll be shocked by this, Andy, but there's no union in our family.
What?
In fact, if I remember correctly, my great-grandfather worked on the railroad too, but he was a union buster on the railroads.
That's like such a Forrest Gump story.
Isn't it?
Like, here's my great-great-great-grandfather, Kennecott.
Exactly. He was the one busting the unions.
Holding a right to work sign.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I get that from. But yeah, so the Anwar up there in northern Alaska, there's literally nothing out there but caribou, and all along the pipeline during the coldest winters, the caribou actually migrate under the pipeline because it keeps them warm. And since the pipeline has been going, it's actually expanded the caribou populations. So we've got a giant reserve up there, and that's something that I think we could tap into and truly be energy independent. We wouldn't have to worry about fluctuations in oil price like we do now. Yes, we're kind of energy independent, and Trump should be shutting off exports, but the reason we're paying more is because international demand has gone up so much. Our guys are shipping more finished product out overseas, so we're paying for it in the long run. So we should be doing some stuff like looking at places where we've got giant reserves, where the locals have said, yeah, we want this, and it'll create jobs, as opposed to places like Chaco that should really be protected.
Well, and like to your original point, I think there is like, just leave it for, even if there's a conversation to be had about it, like, it's not what we need to be worrying about right now. Not
even close.
Go to the places where we're already producing oil, and a lot of it, and figure it out.
And those communities are familiar with the process and the jobs and how to do it and everything else. So why not continue to help those communities out?
I think I remember a lot of people a lot of the pro driller folks pointing to the Navajo Nation because they were in favor of it, right? Like they're thinking about jobs. I think. Well, and also here's the thing. Here's the thing, folks. Obviously, like no tribe is really a monolith anyway, right? So it's sort of like it's the same way as saying like, oh, America likes war because the president took him to war. You know, like just because the Navajo government is saying yes, we're in favor. It doesn't mean the largest tribe in the United States. Like, there's no way that everybody's in favor of it.
No,
I have a few friends that are like. They live in Navajo land, and there's like, they have those skits about like, whoever's like the governor and they're like, on the res or whatever. It's like, scamming money and all this. So I was like, I think most governments agree with making money.
That's a big takeaway from just history, right? Is that like people in power like to keep the power,
money.
And
who doesn't?
Yeah, right.
Part of my beef up there when people say that the Navajo Nation needs more jobs as well, you shut down a coal-fired plant up there that was providing hundreds of jobs, all in the name of protecting the environment, while we're seeing solar and wind really don't work like they're supposed to, and kind of been sold a bill of goods on that. So you've taken away jobs from people in an industry that was reliable and almost always guaranteed to be there.
Yeah, I think, well, I would always go back to the, it's just shitty anytime. Oh my God, Matt, I just realized a perfect segue. It's just shitty when you have this industry that is a shitty industry that's supporting your community, right? And like goes back to the first thing that popped in my head was detention centers, right? Shutting detention centers down.
Yep.
So Matt and I were on KKOB not too long ago, and we were talking about these detention centers, and I think we took a phone call. Remind me if I'm wrong, or tell me if I'm wrong, Matt, but I think somebody had called up and asked if the federal government could put detention centers on military bases, right?
Yes, correct.
And we were like, yeah, in thery you could. I had no idea this was happening, but Representative Gabe Vasquez is calling for Fort Bliss Detention Center to close. I didn't know that there was a Fort Bliss immigration detention center.
Is that on our side of the border? Or?
It's in Texas.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's on the Texas side of Fort Bliss.
Well, it's like I was stationed on Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but my barracks were like on the Tennessee side of the border. Yeah. We called it Tennessee.
I can see why.
Yeah. It's great if you like having sweaty balls. Like, so like Gabe Vasquez, so can he do that? Well, I mean, obviously he can call for things.
He can call for whatever he wants. Yeah. He's my congressman. Hi, Gabe.
Like he's not.
Just watching.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I think he was the only one out of the entire delegation that tried to help with the Border Patrol seizures on cannabis. Yeah. So I really respect him for that. Otherwise, our politics do not align.
I was going to bring up the same thing because he was more vocal about it. But even then, it was going back to the point of like calling for something is not the same as like introducing a bill or calling. I mean, it'd be nice to see some senior folks. So, not to veer off for a second, but what he's talking about the commercial cannabis folks were getting stopped just out of nowhere under the Biden administration.
Yeah, it started about 2 years ago. There's been at least $1.5 million in product seized so far. Actually, there was just another seizure about 2 weeks ago. So Border Patrol's just stopping people, and
it really was just almost overnight, and nobody could really even get an answer. The governor was pissed. Yep. I mean, everybody was legitimately pissed because it's an industry here, you know.
But nobody really did much. The congressman did have some language put into one of the appropriations writers, I think it was, that said that Homeland Security cannot use funds against legal cannabis programs. It didn't go anywhere. We're going to see some similar language introduced, but that's from the National Normal Group. So, but, you know, bringing it back to the detention centers, whoever the caller was, the answer is yes. So if he's listening to our podcast, yes, you can. And we have, this is one of those issues where I'm a little mixed on, because we really need to decide if we are going to be a nation with borders and a unique American culture and laws, or if we're going to have open borders and an open culture where there's no necessarily unique Americanness to it, and not have laws on immigration. And we're kind of stuck in the middle on this whole thing where nobody's kind of given a real answer and a real fix to our really broken immigration system. Do we need places to put folks who are waiting on immigration detainers and stuff? Yeah, absolutely. But my understanding is a lot of those folks are nonviolent. Their only crime was actually just coming across the border illegally.
That's what Vasquez said in the story, was that's the reports that he heard from folks, was that, or that his understanding was that a lot of them were civil cases and not criminal cases.
Yeah, I think the majority of them are civil cases, and it's weird because it's placed on this pedestal of high crime. Mm-hmm. When I'm most people I've ever met and have come across, anybody that's ever had a job, like a restaurant job or a fucking, there's people that are undocumented that work in those places too, and they're all just go to work and they go home.
It'll be interesting to see how the immigration or deportation numbers shake out long term, right? Because Obama obviously earned the name deporter in chief because he did hit those records, but the difference...
That's what Trump can't even put up the Obama numbers, dude.
But the thing is I think Trump's numbers, there's a good chance they're going to go down in the long run, because Obama's numbers, they're considering after appeals and those are people that were literally...
they got a fair shake at it.
Yeah, and Trump's kind of backwalked the whole immigration thing lately, too. There was a statement a couple of weeks ago, not even a couple of weeks ago, more like a couple of days ago, where he said, a lot of immigrants are good people. They're working in our restaurants and luncheonettes and other places. So he's walking that back, which in a way I like, because I completely disagree with how they've been going after folks in communities. Like Minnesota was a complete shit show.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous.
The Mexican border town of Minneapolis.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
but sending them to airports or whatever, just just to intimidate people. It's weird.
Yeah,
intimidating. To show up at a Home Depot and be like, we're after some criminals, and I'm like, what, for floating a check? What kind of criminals are who are you actually after?
There's rapists, there's murderers, there's people who do really bad things that are in this country.
They already live here and they're already citizens too.
Yes, there's that too. Hell, they run our government. They're in Congress, and some are probably serving in the White House. So, they're everywhere. But I mean, really, what it shows is our immigration system is completely broken. Nobody's taking it seriously, and there is that whole debate on whether or not this is the Great Migration and replacement theory thing.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe there's something to that, but our H-1B visa program is broken. It's busted from top to bottom.
It's been broken
forever.
Yeah.
That's
forever.
Elon's favorite, right? That's his favorite visa, because
it's the rich person visa. Yeah,
you get to treat people like shit, and or you can just go back home.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess you'll shut the fuck up. Then,
my big problem with it is the big corporations, especially, have been abusing it for years, and they're bringing in people from outside of the United States and giving them the jobs that Americans had for quite a while, and replacing them with cheaper labor. And the communities are being replaced by H-1B visa immigrants too. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's the way it's happening and how these people are being brought into the country and abused. That's the big issue with it, I think.
Yeah, it's diet trafficking almost, like.
Yeah, it really
it's
is.
like light.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little more cozy trafficking.
Exactly.
And no matter where you fall on the immigration thing, like, I think to me it seems pretty obvious, like, maybe don't put them in tents in a sweltering military base. Right?
Yeah.
Like, which I think is probably why previous administrations did what they did, is and said, you're free to go, show up for your court date. You know, because we cannot afford to house all these people.
Some previous administrations, Obama did set up the
he did build
detention centers too.
He built the cages, right?
But also just releasing people we've seen doesn't work either.
Right.
There's been, I know for a fact, there's been people arrested on no-show warrants. So that doesn't necessarily work either. So even when I was working for Susanna, we were talking a lot about it, like a tag back provision, if you will, where somebody would go back to Mexico, and if they provided their paperwork the right way, they would leapfrog to the front of the line and be considered for a green card or citizenship. We haven't even had those types of discussions in probably the last 10
there's
years.
already veterans too, like Iraq veterans that were citizens and still got deported for some fucking reason.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
And it's because they're like, "Oh, you're an anchor baby" or whatever. And it's there's weird like reasons that they're coming up with to
the people. Well, there are people that clearly get deported to a country they've never been to before. They barely speak the language. Their family doesn't live there.
Exactly. I do find the birthright citizenship case in front of the Supreme Court right now pretty interesting. There is an issue where you have it's basically Chinese factory babies, where they'll bring Chinese women to the United States, they'll have babies, bring them back to China as American citizens and raise them there under CCP ideals, then bring them back to the United States to, have companies and be a part of American society. It's part of the Belt and Road Initiative that the Chinese have. There's a lot of strategic pieces that kind of tie into this too.
I think that's like probably more rare than most cases, or just kind of here. Or, you know what I mean?
I think it's something to watch and to keep an eye on as a nation.
Yeah.
Because you don't want people who've been influenced necessarily by the outside telling Americans what to do. But
I think it's that amongst a lot of other things that are happening now, and it's always this way, that the issues that are shown to us that we need to fix, or like, sure, maybe somewhere down the line, but like, how bad of a problem is it? Right. Like,
when it's like how far gone is the China thing? Because we've been using them to fucking build everything we fucking have already. You know what I mean?
Not my iPhone though, right?
I got some bad news, Andy. But I'm like, also, like so like in
Just
the
kidding,
guitar,
I don't have an iPhone.
I don't either. I have a Samsung something.
I got an Apple everything.
But the like the guitar industry. Right. So like when the tariff things were hitting, like now there's these small Chinese companies that make like the same quality guitar as a Fender or Gibson, because they're like, well, fuck you, we've been making these anyway.
Yeah.
Slap I bought a $100 guitar the other day. It plays so nicely. And it's like it came out of the box like amazing. And so I think, we kind of fucked ourselves in that way, is that, they're like, oh, you would slap tariffs on us? Cool. Hey, there's those Coach bags.
Yeah.
Here's a cockroach bag or whatever. And like, it's the same fucking bag,
Same thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so it's like, that's, I don't know, like, if we're going to worry about China, like we should have done that like a long time ago, before we're like making all our shit there because it's cheaper.
Yeah, before we opened everything up.
Yeah, we don't have factories here, and we don't have fucking
Not anymore.
iPhone facilities, and
Exactly.
So it's like the idea that we're going to bring these jobs back to America and stuff like that. And I'm like, you think anybody can do them?
I think that nothing says in being industrious more than not having to do the hard work. Like.
Yeah, I guess so. I also think that you should probably try to be as self-sustaining as possible, and we're so far away from that. COVID exposed that. If we already didn't know it, the supply chains are incredibly fragile. We're seeing that again with Iran. Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, at least our oil is going to be good, right?
Yeah.
I got some more bad news, Andy.
Yeah, right. Australia is already putting in austerity measures. They've been out of oil now for like. Yesterday I was reading for a day and a half or something like that.
I forget where I saw it, but it was a really cool animation and an explanation of how the oil routes work, right? And so, they're talking about how slow the ships move. So some of our oil is still on its way, right?
Yeah.
And then like South Africa, that area, like they ran out real quick, or they were close to it. And then Asia, they're going to run out faster, but it's because all those ships, and so we won't feel it really truly until those ships stop running. However, we do feel it because obviously there's speculation in the stock market. So every time I was going to call him something, every time the president says something about going to war, the stock market drops.
He always makes his statements at like 3 p.m. on Fridays, right after the markets close, and there's weekend speculation.
And then I got some bad news, guys. The war is going to have to keep going.
And then when he says, oh, we're coming up to a, last time he said like, oh, I think we have an agreement coming, stock market don't back up again.
Always.
The fact they believe him is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if they believe him or if it's just real market manipulation. Like somebody made a boatload of money off of the announcement that the war was going to happen.
Well, and there was
talk about manipulation.
They said there was a spike in buying of certain stock, about 10 minutes before before a major speech.
The announcement. Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. Like what's his name? James Tallarico. The fact that he is running on the premise that he wants to ban insider trading or any trading while you're in Congress.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe that's fucking allowed.
It's allowed.
You get to make the rules and pick the companies.
And the crazy thing is that when we were talking earlier about Rage Against the Machine being like, those guys are rich and they suck. That's kind of what Congress does with trading. They're like, yeah, somebody should stop that.
Oh, dude,
excuse me, I got to go hit this before they close the market.
Exactly. The narrative that Bernie Sanders has 3 houses, and he's like, dude, it's a fucking shack on a lake, But they're like, easy to say with your 3 houses, and then meanwhile, the guy with the fucking 48 bedroom house.
Yeah,
but I mean, and Nancy Pelosi can basically be like, yeah, they should change it. Or we should change it. Somebody should.
That's a problem. Being a leftist or whatever. It's like the people in power fucking do nothing.
They're
like Chuck Schumer's like, I'm going to write a really strongly worded email.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to.
Thanks, Chuck.
Not trying to create enemies with Tim Keller or anything, but that was when he ran the first time. It wasn't him specifically, but his campaign came out and said, because remember they got in trouble for the in-kind contribution stuff. And so what it was that in-kind contributions are, if I bring a case of water to the campaign, I have to report that I gave it to the campaign, but it's not cash, it's in-kind. Or if I make signs, if I'm a print shop and I make signs for the campaign, it's in-kind contributions. His campaign got in trouble for soliciting, quote, in-kind contributions, but they would just write in kind on the check, right? So they would give them cash and say, I think that maybe their logic was you can use that money to pay, I think they had a campaign because it was publicly, I'm getting into the wormhole on this, but I think it was, the intention was okay, instead of going to buy that bottle of water, you give us the $20 and we'll buy a bottle of water. We call it in kind. That's the best I can imagine that they were justifying.
$4 bottle of water,
but they got
16.
They got in trouble for it. I mean, nothing really happened, but they got called out for it by the ethics board.
We did that.
But I remember the campaign. Somebody from the campaign saying, "If they should change the law." Like, and if we get in the office, we'll change it so that no one else can ever do this again.
And it never
so we
got
can be the
changed.
last ones that ever pulled it off.
Yeah, exactly.
And it still
Well,
never got changed. Yeah.
That's kind of how the campaign finance laws felt in Santa Fe when they changed them, because rather than doing it for the next election cycle, when they were all up for election, they did it for the election cycle afterwards. So it cut the knees out from underneath the other candidates that were running under the new
You can really
laws.
cheat then. You can really, like,
Oh, yeah.
you can really fucking do some fuckery.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. 'Cause it used to be in New Mexico where we had completely open campaign finance. You could give a $5 million check if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And the legislature was like, yeah, we'll keep it like that for one more election cycle for ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when there's a good chance of a Republican winning for governor, we'll cut it
Vote
off.
for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. It's funny
Yeah.
how those things work, but
Well, it's crazy. It's like that, you know, most things that we would go to prison for, like shit that the politicians are just openly doing all the time. you know?
exactly.
Yep.
You're like, yeah, I think,
For the not me, right?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Say,
Yeah.
oh, releasing the full Epstein files will bring the entire system down. That's the case.
Yeah.
Well,
Sounds like a
maybe it
system that needs to be down.
Yeah. What kind of
Yeah,
system are we
exactly.
talking about here?
They're like,
seriously.
guys, just a few pedophiles. Like, just let's have let a few of our guys in. You know, and they're like,
God.
it's
Yeah.
that's just crazy to me. It's like, you know, they're like, oh, a lot of good guys will be in. Like, if they're in the files, they're not good guys.
No.
Who was the guy that Matt won't remember his name? The guy that took his family to on the Bahamas and stopped over at his island for lunch.
You mean Howard
Lutz-
Lutnick?
Lutnick, yeah.
Is
That's
it
what it
Trump's
was.
current handler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I never went there. And then they're like, I did go there with my kids. And then
Well, it
then there's
started-
all these photos of him.
It started with I saw his massage table and thought he was a disgusting human being, so I never went back to his house. And then later, it's like, oh yeah, there was another time when
exactly.
we were, and
Yeah,
then
so there I was on the massage table.
talk about out of touch. He was like, he said nannies plural. He was like, it was my wife, my kids, and our nannies. And I'm like,
There's a whole 9/11 conspiracy behind Lutnick too. So.
really?
Oh yeah, he was the managing partner or director at J.P. Morgan in Tower One, and he had never been late before, never really taken his kids to school.
Oh, and he
that
stayed.
day he decided to take his kids to school, and his wife, who worked in the building, was also quote unquote late to work.
He let her go.
So yeah, exactly.
She's like, I'm going off to work. And he's like, I love you. Thank you for your sacrifice. She's like, what? Nothing. Have
nothing.
a great day at work.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
cornflakes is what I meant.
I'll see you at the building where we both work.
Exactly. So there's a whole conspiracy behind that too. Like he's a character that goes back for quite a while in American politics and with some
him
shady
and Scott
stuff.
Besant, like,
Yeah.
they're just like,
Man,
but I'm like, you're making war announcements with the finance guys behind you.
which is odd.
And the Easter
Yeah.
Bunny.
yeah, Easter Bunny.
Well, it was really Howard Lutnick. He's like, you fucking say the thing.
I
Say
did
the
think-
thing I told you to say.
When I saw that Easter Bunny, the first person I thought of was Sean Spicer. I was like, who's in that
That
Easter
dude.
Bunny costume?
fucking
hilarious.
Stephen, was it
Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller?
Exactly. I will say about Besant though, he is a finance genius, and if anybody was going to be able to kind of help write things for us, it would be him. I have a lot of faith and trust in that dude. I think he's probably one of the real puppet masters in this administration too.
However, the scary thing is you just never know what Trump's going to accept from his advisors and what he's going to say. I don't
Nope,
care.
no
You know?
idea.
You
Oh,
know,
he's a loose cannon.
if
Very
he,
much so.
If he made a deal with somebody to, go after Iran, he's not going to back down from that. You know?
Nope.
You can tell
He
him
won't.
all the terrible things can happen. He's like, I don't care.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's the art of the deal, man.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of is like how that's his reputation. There was a really good Frontline documentary about Trump right after he was reelected the second time. And it went with this sort of thesis that it was Cohn. What's his name? I forget his first name now. The lawyer.
Mike Cohen. Michael Cohen.
No. Cohn, Kohn or Cohn. He was his. Man, I'm gonna sound so stupid now. He was his lawyer back in when they were fighting the tenants with that for when he got sued for he and his dad got sued for being discriminatory in their Man, I gotta look that up now. Anyway, that he just sort of, that lawyer had that same attitude of like, even if you lose, you just, Roy Cohn, sorry.
Roy
God,
Cohn.
I knew I was, even if you lose, just tell people you win, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But same thing as Clinton, there is no such thing as bad press. You know?
Yeah.
So same kind of philosophy, really.
Yeah, the whole there's a thing where people are like, no, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
It's very common these days too.
yeah, and I'm like,
I didn't say that. I don't know what's going on. What are
yeah,
you
and even
talking
if I
about?
did say that, you took it out of context, and
Yeah.
if you took it out of context, like,
Yeah, like what? Come
yeah,
on.
but it's crazy. Is that there's a whole like it's like spreading into like business and entertainment and all this stuff where people are like, oh, that guy's like just one of these people that does this thing or whatever. Like they'll just name call and like, and then if you don't have anything to say back, then they're like, you lost, bro.
Yeah, see,
You got
I told
triggered, dude.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was like, I read a lot of like Marcus Aurelius and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Some people are like, yeah, I know. You're so mad, right? I'm like, dude, I really don't care.
Stoicism is wonderful.
Yeah, I've been for a while now, for a couple of years now, digging Ryan Holiday and his books.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I just read was it The Obstacles Away?
Nice.
Yeah, and I have he's got like the Daily Stoic.
I have that one too,
I
yeah.
bought, and it's kind of nice to like combine that with like some Sam Harris guided meditation,
Yeah.
and then like go like look at your like quote for the day. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean they're good little things that ground you and stuff like that. And I've like had some personal tragedy in my life, and that definitely, I'm like, well, I could sit here and wish stuff didn't happen, or I can, keep going.
Yep.
And also, that keeps sticking with me is that like everything you're experiencing, somebody else has experienced before.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There's nothing new under the sun.
It's happened at least once in human history. So
It may, not specific, it's obviously like technology changes things, but the feelings you have and the sort of conflict you
Yeah, they're
have
just
in
as real as
life.
ever. Yeah.
exactly.
And I remember my therapist telling me that I like, I was like smart. I not on purpose, but I was like, when I got out of the military, I was like, one of the reasons I got out was like watching one of my superiors, like, his like wife called him and he's just like, what?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh
That
man, I was
sucks.
like, I want to have a wife one day and I would like, a good relationship or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think it's possible if I stay in this line of work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I got out when I was 25 and I was like, cool, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my young years and all that stuff. Like, but I was like, man, I could not live that way. And I think I ended up going to therapy for like 10 years and they were like, hey, there's like 6 problems in the world, like that mental wise.
Yeah.
We just did different combinations. Like some people have like, 2, 3, and 5.
It's like
And a lot
Taco
of
Bell
2.
behind us. It's like 5
Right.
different ingredients and you
Right.
can make a menu.
Exactly.
But they drop a new thing and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. It's a fucking enchilito, dude.
The beans on the outside of this taco.
Yeah. They're just like, fuck it, dude. Just throwing darts at shit like ground
But no,
beef.
you're right. You're right. I
product.
think it's just a certain combination of like there's like 5 things,
Right. And some people have like,
DSM could be 5 pages if you really want it.
Pretty much.
right. And they're like, oh, you're, like in like the sliders on a Fallout game or something. They're like, you maxed out on the trauma and then, but you're only 50% with the abandonment issues, So there's like, once I kind of learned, I was like, oh, okay, there's nothing that special. It was like diagnosed with bipolar and stuff. And I was like, nah, whatever.
A lot of folks are bipolar.
Yeah.
It's well, I just never wanted, like, I didn't accept it at first because I didn't want an excuse for my actions or something,
Yeah.
And therapy helped me channel all that stuff. But there's a thing like, yeah, if everybody realized like we're not all, we're not super unique or anything, unless you have 2 dicks.
That'd be pretty unique.
There's a guy I got in that the Reddit like rabbit hole like it was like 10 years ago. But there's a guy and he's like, yeah, I have 2 dicks. Yes, they work. Right. when after he's done using one, he can use the other, and it's like they call him Dr. Double Dick. Or I don't know.
That's wild, man.
But I was like, that's crazy, and they were both like regular size because some people have the second penis is like very small.
Some people, that means there's. I was like,
there's a few.
Everybody's problem is not unique.
Yeah, it's
even
true.
in this case.
Yeah. Because like he might be the I'm the only double dick guy in the state or whatever, but not in the region though.
Yeah, exactly.
There's two others. There's one in Arizona.
there's enough to have like 4 regions in the country.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
they do double dick gatherings.
I'm the Midwest Conference of double dickers.
Region 4 double dick. I'm Region 2.
Oh man.
Well, I think it's probably about time to wrap up. However, I wanted to make sure that we touched on one thing because I thought it was cool. Because we are in Autism Awareness Month.
Yes.
And I'm not going to go through the list, but I will say people have Google. I think it was KRQE that had a list of sensory.
Yep.
They have some special events, and the only criticism I have about the world in this, because I think you two have special people in your lives with autism. I sometimes feel very neurodivergent, so I don't self-diagnosed weirdo. But yeah, my only criticism is that it's sort of because it's an event. They're like, oh, it's Autism Awareness Month, so like things like the zoo and the Isotopes game, sensory-friendly Regal or movies at Regal Cinema. And Matt, I know you know somebody that's gonna love that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And then Explora. I mean, some of these places I think already have it, but my guess you're getting at what I'm getting at is that
Explora
like,
kind of already. Yeah, it's like Pride Month. It's a new Pride Month thing, you know.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
everybody and everything has their month now.
So great. Like if my kids have autism, like April's the month where I can go see a baseball game, you know?
Right. And, like there's, I don't know. So like my kid's in therapy and to, like try to help him manage his, like any difficulties that he has, and, I'm trying to help him adapt to the world and stuff like that. And I think my only problem with like people that put their kids on the internet and stuff like that with autism, and they're like, this is how it is. Yeah. And I'm like, like how much money are you making on that?
Exactly.
Like it's a weird grift, I think,
or using it as a crutch, right? Like
I think
I do have somebody in my life tangentially that was diagnosed with autism later, like 17, 18. I think it's really important to use that diagnosis to help you, right?
Yeah,
right. Or help your kid. Is that like it kind of going canceling out what I said earlier is that like the world's not going to change for you, right? Like I was kind of giving shit to the Isotopes and all that other stuff, but like the world's not going to change. You have to figure out how to make it through the world that's not going to change for you.
When people know so little about it too, is like, well, I didn't know shit about it.
Yeah.
You know? And so we noticed my son was different when he was 1 and he's 3.5 now. But like, so he was in early intervention. So like, as soon as they were like, that's possible, he's autistic, I'm like, right away, I'm like, what do I have to do to help him?
Yeah, what's that mean? Yeah.
And it does bug me. Like the worst thing I ever did, I think what kind of really burnt me out on social media was the other autism parents they're like, did you try colloidal silver? And I'm like, fucking get a therapist, man.
Yeah.
Just like, like you can kind of train them to like redirect their, their impulses.
But you are a Tylenol family, right?
No, we were an Advil family, and that's what's crazy about this.
Yeah, my girlfriend's son, her name's Veronica, her son is Daniel. He's 26, and he's autistic. When he was diagnosed 26 years ago,
there was resources.
Nothing.
Right.
So she literally, it was almost impossible for her to get him that diagnosis even. Yeah. It was a 2-day process, 8 hours every day in front of I think she said like 6 different specialists. And then they finally got him diagnosed, and they wanted to put him in special classes that were away from other kids and everything else. So she had to fight for inclusion. She had to fight for resources. She had to fight for everything.
And it's honestly a blessing nowadays to be going through this now.
It's big.
So even my older kids, if it was them, it would be different. And like my kid now, they're like, okay, so he goes to preschool, spends half his day there, gets on a bus, goes to therapy. So he does like 40 hours a week of like, you know, he works harder than most New Mexicans. Like,
and he gets on the
intense.
bus by he's all he's independent and
yeah, well, so he does have like, somebody watches him and sits with him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
he's also pretty young still.
Yeah. So I mean, most kids would run away anyway, or like, you know, fuck around. But with him, it was like, you know, once we noticed like, oh, okay, other kids are saying words, and he's, you know, and he had no interest in. Like when he's in daycare, he's just like his back to everybody. He's just like, nah, fuck y'all.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm chilling.
Yep.
And he's still like that now, but he's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
No,
what I mean.
please
It's
go
those.
fuck
It's,
yourself, and then
it's the, especially with autism, like it's they're kind as anybody else, right? It's just
Right.
they just need a little of that reminder to like, hey, you know, like this is how you hang up the phone. You don't just hang up, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
just
you gotta,
be very
like,
specific with
yeah.
your instructions
Yeah.
and your time. I mean,
Right.
they told Veronica her son would never be able to live a full life on his own. He lives in a group home right now. Group home. There's two other autistic guys that live there.
Yeah, he's got roommates.
26.
He's got roommates.
He's got roommates. It
Yeah.
really is what it is. He goes all over the damn city watching and reviewing movies and food.
See,
and
that's awesome.
all kinds of stuff.
And
It's like
That's
you
all I
don't give
really
up.
want for my son is
Yeah.
like just to
Normal life.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I just want, you know, because I'm not gonna live forever.
Yeah.
Like my wife's inevitably gonna cause me an aneurysm one day.
She's heard it
handful.
here first, folks.
But you know, like it's just wanting. I'm like, it doesn't have to be the best. It just has to be like livable. You
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I think there's more of a chance of that happening nowadays than there would have been
Absolutely.
Sure.
even 20 years ago or whatever. They used to just stick people in the back of the class and like, he's weird.
Yeah.
Put him back there and just don't look at it. You know,
Yep.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
they, you know, talk about people like an it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And yeah, it does make me laugh, the whole narrative. Like, we never had this when I was a kid. Like, don't touch those plates. Those are special plates. I collected those over 25 years, from different
Same
cities,
thing.
from different coal mine. Like, that's coal mine China or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, all right, you sure?
Every single person on Antiques Roadshow, right? Like,
ever.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't understand it. That's why we don't vaccinate or whatever. And they're like, then they're on there. They're like, this is obviously 1911. You know,
Exactly.
yeah. This
that's funny.
plate, it was crafted by Robert Wagner or something. He was really good, famous in his region. You know,
Oh,
that's how I
great.
feel. I'm like, where did my son get his autism? And then I'm like, well, see, this guitar is the same one played by.
Yeah, look at some of your hobbies first.
Yeah. And then I'm like, my parents are engineers.
There you
I'm
go.
like,
Yep.
yeah, I was like, I just didn't go the smart way.
I think
I went-
I'm going to steal it from somebody. I know that they already said it, but like, you know, autism doesn't cause vaccines. Vaccines were created by people with autism.
But there's those, I worked at Sandia Labs for a couple of years, and I remember those, like, I had an office mate, and we were the same age and stuff, and I was like, we could not have been more, because I was like, yeah, I'm playing Edgefest this weekend. And he's like, yeah, me and my guild are getting together, and we're going to...
Ooh, a guild.
Right, and he's like, you know, what kind of Dungeons and Dragons, like what kind of character do you have? And I'm like, I don't.
I
I like sleeping with chicks, dude. Like, you know,
He's a LARPer.
Yeah.
but it was like, you know, there's a honesty. It was like Love on the Spectrum's out, you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. There's an honesty, you know. It's like, oh, you like Batman? No, okay, fuck you. That bitch sucks. You know, and I'm like,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm like, there's such an honesty about it. It's like so
yeah,
fun,
yeah.
and I'm like, I'm kind of looking forward to a more autistic world where people are like, hey, would you mind staying open late? Nope.
Nope.
Oh shit. Okay.
No, I'm tired. I'm going home.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess what? Nope. It's 7:01,
Yeah.
and I'm out. You know.
That's right.
Well, Gabe, thanks for joining us for your first guest.
Yeah,
So
thank
that's
you.
pretty
Oh,
notable.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's an honor, man.
If you don't
Thank
count Veronica, Veronica snuck in on the
She wasn't a full
the
guest,
secret
but-
sesh, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you guys for having
Good stuff.
Again, we'll get those links in there. Plug all your stuff. Go get your haircut from Gabe. Go see him play.
Absolutely.
Also, shout out to Don Romero again for letting us use the lounge, which will be open.
Big time.
The Black Room. Thanks
Big,
for telling me it's right over there, Gabe. It'll be open. The 18th?
Yeah, 18th is the grand opening. 17th is an industry-only party night, and the 18th is grand opening time.
And of course, 2 days later is 420. So
yep. So be here.
Happy 420
really
to those
cool
who
spot.
celebrate. All right, thanks guys.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks everybody.
Adios.